So you're growing from, doing the first data wiretap, right, to after a certain amount of time, you're taking down Silk Web, not just once, but like twice, and leading the operations that brought those down. What was it like operating inside a platform that was inherently designed to be anonymous and untraceable, wherein you're not supposed to know anybody? You're not supposed to, the whole point is to, hide yourself.
Yeah.
How was it going from that to that? And did you find the transition? Let's be honest, right? Tor has its own whole background, and it's a humdinger, as one would say. The Onion router, for those of you who are unfamiliar, and it's the backbone of a lot of the dark web. How was it? What was that process like? And then was it? I imagine it's going to be a bit more arduous, right? When you're talking about an organization that was on pagers, maybe 10 years beforehand.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't remember like I would show up in the office and all of a sudden, Tor was there, or the dark web. It was a slow bleed.
Yeah.
It was a slow bleed, and we ran investigations that started to have aspects not only of operations in this thing called the dark web, but use of like cryptocurrencies and Bitcoins on, I remember doing investigations, and one of my agents came in and we're like, there's this thing called Bitcoins, and it was like trading at like, $2 a piece.
Yeah. The good old days.
Yeah. He was like, even 90 cents. Oh, I think I'm going to buy some of this. I'm like, it's going to be worth nothing. Like if I had fast forward back to that time and bought, just what I was going to spend on a pizza that day, I'd be right. I wouldn't be talking to you guys. But it was like, we ran a fake forum on the dark web. We were doing all kinds of traditional investigations that all of a sudden couldn't work anymore. Like Silk Road was a perfect example of it, because when we got involved in Silk Road, it was because the prosecutor's office in Southern District of New York came to us. We were essentially the preeminent cyber squad in the bureau. We were doing all kinds of great cases, and they had been trying to break into Silk Road for quite some time using traditional techniques. DEA doing undercover buys.
Yeah.
Basically, you can do an undercover buy on a buyer, but that's all you get.
Yeah.
You get anywhere else, right?
Right.
So we needed to come up with some sort of technical solution to dismantle that. And the only way to dismantle it is cut the heart out, find out who this Dread Pirate Roberts guy is. And that's how you dismantle it. You can pick off a seller selling a bag of weed every single day, but it's the difference between, doing a street buy and disrupting, the kingpin who's running that corner. And that's how we had to get at it. And there was massive blockades there, mainly because of Tor.
Isn't that the goal though, for like every investigation like that? You can get the guy, selling dime bags on the street, but the point is to try to get someone to turn over so you can get the next highest guy, the next highest guy, the next highest guy or gal.
Yeah. That's how Batman does it, right?
Yeah, it's Dustin, you're right. Like, before kind of the transition from like when I was talking about, we were doing like intellectual property rights cases, copyright infringement. Then we started to get into money mule investigations where guys were banging out fake ATM machines, fake cards and stealing money. And the way you break into that is you grab a mule, you arrest a mule, then you find out who the money boss is, like who are they giving their money to. Then you find out who that money boss is working with, who the money man is. And then you work your way up to the coder who actually wrote the code.
Wow. That
allows the loosely knit but yet affiliated cyber criminal group to get a batch of Citibank cards, figure out the algorithm to say, I'm going to then generate the next 1,000 Citibank cards, then code with a magnet swiper the next 1,000 cards on blank ATM cards and hand them out to the money mules, and they're going to run around and start banging ATM machines. You got to work your way up that level. It's the same way in a drug investigation. You get the guy selling a bag on the street, you go to his dealer, and then you work your way up to the kingpin. It's called that's how you dismantle organizations.
So in a way, then what you had to do for the Silk Road, investigatively speaking, did it simplify that process then? Because you just had to go after the main guy.
Yeah, it simplified it it took it away from a traditional investigation. Traditional investigation wouldn't work. The only way to do it was a technical solution. You had to get the computer scientists that helped me back in 1999 or 2000 set up the undercover network on a DSL line and then a T3 line is the same, and the same guy who did the Title III for a data Title III is the same guy that did all the technical work on the Silk Road case. Same
That's awesome.
scientist.
Yeah, that's great.